Now, no matter the flavor, there's a Scourge for that. Studio Series 86 movie Scourge. Today on Guerrilla Reviews. We finally have the soap dish version of the ship from the 86 movie character Scourge. Although we had to get it in a Voyager size in order for that to work. But that's actually not so bad because after having two different versions of them, we not only have the accurate ship, but the accurate colors. Although a part of me does kind of wish it was in this nice blue, either blue and light blue or blue and white, but it's the movie color, so that's what we're going with. And yes, it's still patently ridiculous as it has ever been, but it is much better than the original G1 version, if that excites you. Since this is the 86 Studio Series version, it does come with a weapon and an effect part. Looks a bit like this. Yes, it's always going to be a bit bent. Yes, it always looks a little silly, but you can do it. For an additional size comparison, here is Studio Series Harad, which is looking a bit more in size class, all relatively speaking. And if you either got one of these, and one of that, you can have your own armada however you please. Now, one thing we get to before transformation proper is that there is a MO version of this where you can have the head sticking out. It should have been as easy as just folding this back, but it isn't. You basically have to transform the figure, put this part in, and then put it back together again to do that. So I'm just mentioning it to you because I'm not going to do it. Moving on to transformation proper, we will start by unfolding this part right here. I'm pegging, folding these parts upward, and folding these in. Bringing these back here, and making sure that this part is folded in as well. Then we will repeat on the other end, like so. Then we will separate these parts. Unpeg this whole part from the end here. Then we will separate. So now it will let us do that. Okay, then, yeah. Here we go then. We fold this part in. Fold out. Fold in. Like so. Out. In. There we go. Then we'll bring this articulate bit here. Fold up. Repeat with the other end. Da, da, da. Now for this part right here, fold in, and like that. Make certain it's that way or this will not go together. It does need to be flush, so do make certain of that. Then when you bring this part in that way and like that, then this whole bit goes in there, fold that part in there, twist around, bring out these bits for the feet, and the gun, sans the effect part, and zip. Extreme close-up. Okay, yeah. There we go. Scourge, robot mode. Okay, fold in these parts like so, fold out, then you're done. On our size comparisons, if I can get this at a sense straight, which does appear to be the issue here, one of many. Okay, yeah, when you fold out this part back here, then it's not an issue anymore. There's a reason why I called it a comedy channel, not a how-to channel. There we go. Continuing on, size comparisons. Here we have the Power of the Titan's Return version, and we have the Classics 2.0 version of Scourge, aka the sweeps, depending on how you want to imagine it. But yes, having a Lassart size class larger, you do get a much greater distinction between the two. You also get the very nice beard and the painted claws of the Classics version, but you also get a far more accurate ship version from the Titan's Return version. So it's really your choice as to how you want to approach that. But this does make a nice set, doesn't it? Moving on to articulation, head is on a ball joint, but due to its own design, it is somewhat limited. Pin and disc joint for the shoulder, mushroom bicep joint, pin disc joint for the elbow, and a rotating fist. Waist joint, pin and disc joint for the hips, nothing for the thigh, but you do get a well, a fairly standard knee joint there. And see, now there are separate pieces here. Oh yeah, there we go. Little bit of tilt for the feet. So you can get them into some poses. How dynamic they are really depends on your imagination. I don't remember him being an all that dynamic figure, at least not a dynamic character in the show. But you can do that if you so choose. Alrighty, now closing thoughts is that this is a fairly solid figure, if a little bit fiddly. Once you get everything down and remember to put everything out properly, it's worth your time. But then again, since I'm clearly a Scourge fan, except for the G1 figure, this is definitely something I was looking forward to, even though I didn't know I wanted it at the time. Now, if there is a Japanese version and it is in the blue and light blue or white colors, I might pick that up. It would really depend on the price and a couple other factors. But otherwise, if you were also into Scourge and you are so inclined, this is definitely for you. And yes, I am fully aware that Cyclonus is a better figure, but he does not excite me. I know what I said about lavender being a fairly decent color, at least on Decepticons, but for some reason it's just a bit much for me. I just prefer the dark purple of the Classics one for Cyclonus. That's just me, but it means it's not a figure I'm picking up. Anyway, that wraps up this Guerrilla review. I'm the Deceptiwolf. This has been Studio Series Scourge. And I remind you all, free your mind, free your toys.